Hey all, welcome to Monday Night Inking. Back again. I am going to be fiddling away on this page today. So you can see I've got some done so far. Wheeler's already in, hey. And we are going to have, oh, he says, hi boss. I'm a boss now. How exciting. And we're going to be having a guest in a bit, but there's always a bit of technical trickery to getting this on board. So we are going to wait a minute and see what we can get going there. I'm going to start filling in this black section here. Wheeler has a question. Yes. What is your question? Bill says, long time no see. Yeah, we definitely didn't just have a chat about SuperCon. Which is going to be awesome. Which is the end of this week, I believe. So Wheeler says, you inked Wednesday Addams. Have you inked any others? I love that show. I did a commission of Morticia Addams. I want to say, I think it was right before COVID. So like half a year ago now. I think that's the only one I've done, though. I think that's the only Wednesday Addams I've done. No. Let's see. Check and see if he's here. I don't see him yet. Let me give this a try. See if we can get Zach on board here. Nope, not yet. Well, we will just keep doing this. This is the usual until we can get him on here. Double the hosts, double the puns. We'll see. We'll see if mixed fans result in doubled puns. Bill says, our chat will be live at 12:30 p.m. on Sunday, October 4th. Awesome. That'll be cool. That was a fun one. I hope you had fun with your others, too. They looked like fun. There he is. Hello. Hello, hello. All right, let's see. All right, view the request. Should be working. Okay, it says waiting for him. Connecting.
Are we on, Clara?
Oh, we're on. Ah, look at that. We did it.
Well, what do you know, huh?
We made it work.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I had a bit of a salty day because I didn't get done the amount I wanted to, but you know how that goes sometimes.
Correct. But you get bonus points for using the word salty.
Absolutely. But I can forgive myself because I did all kinds of other work ahead of time, not factoring in that I didn't start until like 11. But you know, we don't technically forgive ourselves for that stuff. All right, there's something in front of your camera. I didn't know if you were setting up or not.
Is there?
Oh, it's the other way. It's turned around. I'm looking at the ceiling. That's what's in front of me. There we go. Oh, awesome.
What do we got? Some Hulk here?
We got some Hulks there. Oh, I love it. These are the full figure ones.
Sorry.
Oh, I remember you talking about printing those out. Yeah. The first ones, the headshots looked so good.
Thank you. Yeah, These are Jeff Johnson pencils.
Mm-hmm.
So just practicing over those. Thought I'd use a zebra today.
I mean, you usually use that, right?
Yeah, for building big shapes.
Mm-hmm.
It has the control I use with a pen for the most part, but it has a lot of the effects of a brush.
Right.
So
Right.
perfect in between tool.
Well, to return the favor, how was your day?
Outstanding.
Of course it
I
was.
had to get some bottles ready, sold some CBD stuff, get all that junk done, and then
Mm-hmm.
worked on a Batgirl commission.
That's right. Yeah, so we both had some real life stuff we had to do today, so we can forgive ourselves for that, I guess.
And yeah, it happens, right?
Life creeps in.
You're getting ready for a con, you said?
Well, it's the online one. So SuperCon, which is usually here in Sioux Falls, has become my favorite con. Obviously, we're not having it this year with COVID, so they threw together like an online version. So we're gonna see how that goes. Like I haven't been involved in one of those yet. I know you've been involved in a couple of them, but I had
Yeah.
my interview that they're gonna play on schedule a couple of days ago, and it seemed to go well. It seemed
Okay.
cool. Talked about I talked about one of your books. I talked about Wild Yonder a bit
Yeah.
in my pile of recommendations. So that was fun.
Cool. Did you finish Wild Blue, I take it?
Oh yeah, I finished it. I finished it a while ago. Yeah,
Good, good.
we talked about this, how I cried and stuff.
Oh, the entirety. I remember talking about issue 5.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, you were talking about how 5 in particular you thought was your best work still.
Pound for pound, my best single issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
It storytelling wise, I just think from literally the first panel to the last, it's my best work.
Mm-hmm.
I've had better drawings and stuff, and uh, really happy like with my Hellboy book and things, but for some reason it was everything I ever wanted in a comic book. It was just felt like that fun, exciting
Mm-hmm.
80s Indiana Jones feel
Right.
that we were trying to capture.
Right. Right.
So, which when Rach and I work together, we tend to do that a lot. Is we kind of go towards 80s storytelling.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Seems more fun. We're both old people, so our formative years I think were in the 80s.
You're not that old, whatever. That is actually something I wanted to bring up though. Um, like you are at this point where you have like your stable of people that you know that are guaranteed successes to work with, and you work well together and all that. Like how does that stuff happen? Because you see people in your position who have that all set up and working for them, and at my position I can only imagine that coming together. So like not even like when, under what circumstances does that happen? I know that's a very broad question.
Well, it's though nebulous and very subjective,
Mm-hmm.
for the each individual.
Mm-hmm.
It can be answered. I spent a good 10 years getting absolutely mauled by inkers and colorists just working for either DC and Marvel, and you're just working with, the contract guys, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're coming in to try and do something, bring your voice to a property, and you got people just hammering out paychecks,
Yeah.
the synergy isn't always there.
Yeah.
Nor the desire to reach such level of harmony,
Right.
artistic. So, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. It just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I was miserable.
Yeah.
So I learned how to ink myself. And then that solved that, so I didn't have to worry about any knucklehead, ruining my pencils. And then
I didn't realize that you started as a penciler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, because my first image series I did ink. I just didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, I
it
mean,
wasn't
it's the
until
first time for
after.
everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was self-taught. I had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was faking it decent enough, but you know, I was still faking it as a, you know, uh, anyhow, yeah. When I did Shaun of the Dead, Chris Ryle let me learn how to ink myself, and I really just, you know, cracked down, and you know how we do it. We just
Chop
you
wood.
just learn until you rock. Correct. Just chop that damn wood. So uh, that's how I solved that. And I was inked again after that. Mark Irwin, who's probably the best inker to ever ink me. But even then, you know, we had our problems, but you know, we ended up becoming friends because he is very skilled. But even then, you know, he's very Wildstorm. So I had a lot of trouble. We had trouble kind of finding a middle ground.
Right.
And I think we did, but you know, it's definitely not as like say when I ink myself, and he would say the same. But he did a very good job. I think he inked some Marvel stuff on me too. I don't know what. But then colorists, oh my God, there's only a handful of talented colorists that I'm aware of, much less if you're going to get one on a job. And I've had books, not just where I was unhappy, but where it's just, it looks like a clown had diarrhea or something on it. And just a circus clown disaster. So I just went on a hunt and I found Nelson Daniel on DeviantArt out of Chile.
That's how that happened?
Yeah, I was back when DeviantArt was really popping.
Right. It was an
back in the old days.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We were so young then.
But I like the ease of DeviantArt.
Yeah.
And plus, you don't get the drama and shit like that comes with all the other social media. But anyways, whatever. So I just wrote him, and he had just finished, left the film industry.
Oh,
and
really? Oh, wow.
I asked him if he wanted me. Within 2 weeks of him quitting film, I asked him if he wanted to color me. And I think I was doing G.I. Joe, like Death of Cobra covers. I don't know.
Okay.
So we practiced on that, and then it worked immediately really well because he's a professional storyteller along with an accomplished painter and an accomplished comic book artist. So I was working with a lot of talent on his end, and we just, it really helps. We're both insane, and we don't like coming in second place. So that's exactly what we needed, is somebody. I needed somebody as batshit crazy as me.
Right.
And I got that.
Yeah.
Nelson. And then writing, Mike Raich and I think we did some X-Men backup or something together after he left Marvel.
Okay.
And a few years later, we eventually developed Wild Blue Yonder. But again, we have similar sensibilities.
Right. Right. I mean, that's what makes story
to my point.
Work. Go ahead.
Apologies.
No,
yeah. To my point, it's not easy. Some people go their whole career never really finding somebody, you know?
Yeah.
But one thing our industry kind of sidesteps is the harmonization of artists and things like that. You get a lot of forced alchemy that just does not work in this industry. But, you know, we're also making fast food.
Yeah.
So
it's all just corner.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is. I've found a way to make what I want to make, and I make a living. So,
yeah,
you know, I have zero room to complain.
That's why you're one of the good ones.
But am I?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good.
just take it.
I will.
You know not to argue with me.
Correct. I'll get yelled at for the next. I'll wake up to a dimension of hell.
Something passive aggressive. Something like.
Oh, we're artists, aren't we, Clara? I forgive you.
Wake up to
My
it.
poor wife puts up with me, so
Oh, goodness, yes.
we got to pay it forward.
Yeah. Well, that's worth it,
You
though.
put up, hopefully,
Yes.
you put up with me. You see me in my poopy pants days, so
Yeah, but we all
the
have
last
those.
podcast,
We all go
we all need a poopy pants day, right?
Yeah. And that's honestly, like, that's one of the other things I did want to bring up. Like, the value for me of the time you are willing to give me is just sort of the validation of knowing that everything I'm experiencing is normal, like normalizing all this stuff. Like, oh, you have those days too. And you were one of my heroes before we met. So, and just, yeah, just the normalization of that you have those art rage days where you want to flip every table within 10 miles. And the fact that we both have those has been very validating for me. Ooh, I just dropped my
Well,
mouse.
good. Never do that.
Yeah, I won't. I never have. Doesn't mean I don't want to.
No artist does. Do you
Yeah.
have the parallel dimension portal in your drawing office too, where if you drop an eraser, it disappears
No,
from sight forever?
for the most part,
So,
no. Generally not.
oh no,
But
I got a vortex in my office.
I've heard, yes, I've heard tell of the vortex. I've been more of
Yeah,
a,
so,
I've been fewer tools than you for most of my time, so I'm less likely to lose them, I think, statistically. But now that I'm upping my tools because of you, I'm probably going to start losing them. So that one's on you somehow.
statistically, I could at any time probably just crawl around my floor and find a tool that will work.
Well, I mean, that's very specific to the state of your studio, and I have seen pictures of it, so I won't pursue that
Don't be
one.
jealous. Super jellies here.
Be jealous of the wealth of items just sort of extant in your space.
I know where they are. They're where they're supposed to be, Clara.
All right.
Where the universe set them.
Yeah.
Who am I to argue with the universe?
Yeah, definitely. It was the universe that set them there, not you.
Correct.
Or just
Now
dropped
you're
them.
touching.
I'm pretty sure you probably just dropped them, though.
I don't know about that. I'm so fastidious and studious and a lot of other hideous things. So I doubt I would ever lose a tool on the floor.
You break them, though.
What are you working on today, by the way?
Oh,
I saw those pencils.
yes. Yeah,
Before.
I sent you these pencils yesterday. Was that yesterday? My gosh, I don't even know. Yes, I am working on this. This is that commission, that short commission comic I mentioned earlier. I had to draw a bunch of old-timey printing presses, so that was sort of some interesting research. I will say that was kind of
fun.
cool. Had to line them up and everything.
Wow, that sounds tedious.
It is.
I just have to worry about the size of Hulk's nipples. You have to draw a printing press?
I mean, they're equally important as far as I can tell. I don't know why you're comparing them, but...
One for one in the importance of history. I do get your point.
Mm-hmm.
But
although now you know too much about how I handle perspective, so you know how intensive this was.
No, yeah, you don't cut corners there, lady.
No, I don't know how.
Well, we'll teach you how to cheat, won't we?
All right. I hope so.
First, you learn how to do it, and then you learn how to cheat.
All right.
That's the method.
I'm all for that.
And then, well, you learn how to know when to cheat, I would say, rather.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just don't have a good I don't have good perspective guessing yet. Like, I'll do the thing where I lay something out in thumbnails and then I go to apply the perspective and it's like, oh, this is very different. I need to completely read this.
Well, it's because we're drawing 2D, it gives us a lot of room for personality and fudging things. So, and then you'll learn how to set up things so they're forgiving to you for your specific style too. So even when you make a mistake, say if you're using a loose brush, doesn't even matter because a nice loose brush is so forgiving. So you can, and to that point, every tool will have those little little things that you can manipulate to make things easier for you.
That is,
or harder in my case.
Hey, but you make it work. It looks beautiful. It always looks beautiful.
I appreciate it.
But that is something I was noticing even in Wild Blue Yonder. It's like, when you're assessing someone else's work and trying to figure out why it is working for them, you can see, like I can see in that in particular, it's like, well, this is working because he set it up for the way he wants to do it. And I'm still sort of attached to, but I want the shot to be this, if that makes sense.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And of course, it's always a spectrum issue. Is once you master, say, whatever level you're on, let's just say level 2, level 7 looks like magic, but when you're at level 5, level 7 doesn't look like magic anymore. It starts to look like you can almost figure it out, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same for everything. Anything dynamic and good. Well, I wouldn't say anything. I hate absolutes, but most often, there's a lot of thought behind even the simplest, and expertise behind even the simplest art.
Yeah.
So if it's successful, at least.
Yeah.
So, when you create your own language, which all art is, you got to find the rules that help you.
Right.
Or the linguistics or the vernacular that amplifies your work.
Right.
Whatever that Venn diagram of art, excellence, story, and just surviving in your job with deadlines, wherever that falls, right?
I'm working on it.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. Try not to be
You're doing a good job
right now.
Clara.
What?
I said you're doing a good job.
Oh, thank you. I am you hear full well how overwhelmed I get, so I appreciate that.
Well, we all get overwhelmed. We're sitting in a room by ourselves drawing pictures for a living.
Yeah.
I mean, if you stop and think about it too much, even on good days, it's a little bizarre.
Yeah, I really don't. I just don't think about it. It's like, nope, this is going to keep working because it's been working. Don't overthink it. Just get work done today. Goodbye, the end, kind of thing. Yeah,
if you get too abstract, you just kind of live in your head and start chewing at your own ankles.
Yeah.
Or at least me. I'm terrible at that.
No, so. I think that's pretty typical, honestly.
Oh, well, good. See, that's me being reassured in others' misery. Just to your point.
Yeah. Feelings mutual. I'm distracted by your Hulk right now.
I can't even see. I looked at the screen like once.
No, it's fine.
I don't even know what's going on.
Not that much. Someone is spamming us and being annoying.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Oh, no, they're just putting in a bunch of nonsense comments, just like literal spam. But I was going to ask about something I've actually been wanting to ask you about for a while, about line weight. And I guess it depends on the tool. But how, I guess how confident are you in what the final containment line should be when you get started? Because I know when I ink, I usually make a couple passes, bulking up the line. Like once I see how everything falls in the, in the foreground, midground, background, how bulky I actually want the containment lines to be.
Oh, well, there's a lot of actual theory behind that, practicable theory, dependent on light and etc. Nowadays, I don't set up my line weights very much unless like that lock and key poster,
right,
where it starts the scope is just out of control. So
yeah.
Normally, I know if I know where the light's coming from, the distance of the shapes, etc. Line weights just kind of happen. Texture on them will sometimes dictate that as well, but that's more rare.
Right.
And definitely case by case. But I think when you're starting out, it's really good to try and understand what you're doing. So I like to hear that you're doing that, because what you're doing if I can say that word one more time, is building neurons while you're creating that work. You're thinking about it. You're going to create new neurons, and each time you utilize that neuron, it will get more blood flow through it, and it'll become more substantial and understandable skill. So as far as line weights go, like the old school way, this is kind of classic, where the top of the shape, if I'm in camera, let me look real quick, will be really thin.
Right.
Can you see?
Yeah.
And then as you go underneath, it gets really thick.
Right.
That's a really just classic old school way, that the top of the form has a lighter line than the bottom.
Right.
If the lighting is that way in generally, and you'll see a lot of the classic inkers do that.
Right. With the line weight being
but then you can
akin to shadow, basically. It behaves like shadow in a way, yeah.
Behaves, yes, both shadow and in a very loose sense, reflective light at the very tip. So, or the very point of impact.
Right.
But you got to be careful not to overthink things like that. It's more of a technique than an actual a real thing.
Right.
So, but that's all of art's kind of that way for the most part.
Yeah, I do fall into slave to technique, as you know. I fall into the rules
but that's
of it too much
good
sometimes. Is it though?
At first, yeah.
All right.
You got to learn the rules before you learn how to break them.
Yeah.
You know, and this is what a lot of people make this mistake. They just want to cut to, I draw cartoony, or I draw like this guy or that lady or whatever, or in this style. And what they're learning the paint job and not how to build a car.
Right.
You know, so they basically just have a frame of a car with no engine inside, nor understanding how to build a car. So what you're doing right now, again, is you're building very important neurons.
Yeah.
I know it sounds kind of useless when you're in the moment, but you are.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, you know, you can just kind of find truths on the page then, rather than, and I mean, ask anybody that's worked with me. I'm about as anal as a human being gets, but especially storytelling. But it's also from just 20 years, and before that I was even a pro artist. So I've had a lot of time to learn how to do things and then do them again and again and again and again. And it's like throwing a punch combo in boxing. You want to get to the point where it just happens. You don't really think about it because it's just so much, you know, ingrained into, you know, the DNA of the marrow of your bones is radiating with it. So, and when you get to that point, you know, you can now use your energy to learn something else, and just, you know, and that's the fun thing about knowledge and skill sets. It just keeps going.
Okay. That's good.
So
I worry about those neural pathways sometimes, because I know I do have a habit of just sort of resting on those once I have them built. But I think nowadays, now that I've figured out how to keep the steam going, I think I may be out of that rut.
Well, you can see your stuff evolving as of late. So, and that honestly is just,
we all know whose fault that is.
I'll blame Crom, but that's what friends are for, is keeping you honest, and you know, in all aspects.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun. You've taught me how to use this thing, Old Man Howard. I was smashing my face against the Instagram to get it to work prior to you, so now I know you press buttons.
One thing at a time.
So
press buttons. Yeah, I'm full of complex lessons like that.
Again, we learn slowly but surely. But
my gosh, it feels slow. Ugh.
It's always slow.
I know.
I was there too, man. I had no jobs, and
I know.
You know, I knew I didn't want to draw Batman, and it just felt like the world was against me. But I knew I didn't want to do it, and You know, it's just everybody tells you you're a effing idiot. Sorry, this is PG-13 Zach. PG-13 Zach.
Thank you.
PG-13 Zach rides like a pink skateboard into the shots and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
like kick flips it. PG-13 Zach.
that sounds
Um,
adorable.
there you go. That's who you wanted.
Should be careful what I ask for.
Yeah, make it PG-13 Zach.
Yeah, I know it's a long road, but I'm
Yeah, it's
optimistic.
frustrating when you're in it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's truly a journey you can only do on your own. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
just you in your head and your mitts
Mm-hmm.
and your wits. But it works. I promise you. If you ever have dark days, once you have some success, every once in a while look back and you'll see how far you've climbed up the mountain, and let that motivate you.
Yeah. I know. And I'm for the
You were
most
in
part
school
able to
once
do that.
doing papers and shit and talking to professors. Now people pay you money to draw.
Yeah, it's true.
You
It's
know,
true.
did you think that was going to happen? You know, when you were, well, should I say, was it tangible when you were in school? You
Um,
know, or just starting out?
I mean, that's a different conversation. I would say I always thought it was tangible. I just didn't know if I was going to be able to actually get that far. You know, there's a line
Yeah,
there. But
of course.
yeah.
Well, you took the chance,
Yeah, that's true.
and look where you're at now,
Hanging in there.
drawing live with an old bald man.
No, with an industry master? No, I'm not going to complain about that. Oh wait, hold on.
Well,
We got some
I
comments.
wouldn't go that far,
I would.
but
I would. And again,
well, I
we're
appreciate
not
it.
going to fight about this.
Okay, I submit.
All right.
But
Oh, we got some comments here. Comics with Bueller, who does an internet comic review show that he's been enjoying my work, says, Clara, what is that you're working on here? This is a commission from a fan. He's doing a short comic of his own, and I had time in my schedule, so I figured I would take it. I'm learning some interesting things on the way. Bueller, I think you asked earlier, or you said earlier, hello, Clara and guest. I believe, what does it even say on here? Anyway, we're talking today with Zach Howard, artist of most recently, Hellboy was the most recent thing, right? Effie Kolb?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Most recently, Hellboy, The Return of Effie Kolb, and probably most famously, Wild Blue Yonder. Awesome, awesome artist. Very helpful and supportive to me. So these are good times.
Hello. I'm PG-13 Zach, joining Clara today.
Oh my gosh.
Hey.
Oh, hear that skateboard.
I can't make an ollie sound, sorry.
Did you just make a
Yes.
skateboard sound?
Hey, I'll tell you what. You brought up Wild Blue Yonder. One reason I knew Wild Blue Yonder was my most fun I've ever had on a book. Literally, while I was drawing, if I was drawing an explosion, I'd be like,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
like you're a kid playing with G.I. Joes again, you know?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, I definitely do that too. When it's really working, I'm like hearing the floor creak and I'm hearing clothes move and stuff. Yeah, it's great. That's when you know it's really
Yeah.
singing.
Yeah. And you got to entertain yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's funny. Well, again, glad to know I'm not the only one who does that sometimes.
Do you sing a lot? I sing a lot.
Yeah, I do. Oh, you know too much. They do.
Well, the hills come alive every time I draw. I don't know about you.
That's such an inside joke. Like it's not even. Oh gosh. Yes. Fine. They do.
I'm here to entertain me.
Yeah.
Oh, Anthony Wheeler's on here. I know Anthony. What's up, bud?
Oh, hey.
He's come a long ways. Yeah, and there you go.
It says 10
That's
years.
probably all the looking I'm going to do.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, he says 10 years to become an overnight success. I'll have to check him out afterwards.
Good dude. Known him for a while.
All right. Yeah, you know good
Watched him
people.
become a pro. Yeah, I try to. I know bad people too, by the way.
Oh, yes, I've heard some of those too.
This industry is so full of thick integrity, just thick and rife with integrity, right?
Yep.
So
Is it you've had some experience in the film industry as well. Is it better or worse?
just a little.
Just a little, but a little is
Uh,
enough sometimes.
how I describe comic books, the comic book industry is Hollywood without money.
Oh,
It's virtually the same, except the people aren't as ugly, and there's add 2 zeros to the paychecks.
that sounds very succinct and accurate, actually.
So it's gross. You'll find a few good people, but
Yeah.
it's intense. The level of gross to the point where if you aren't taking advantage of people, you're almost seen as fodder.
Right.
In certain instances.
Yeah.
But goddamn, Zach, learn how to ink. Sorry, Clara. PG-13, Zach.
What did you
Sorry, I had a
just
slip up there.
what did you mess up? I missed it.
I said GD.
No, I know,
took
but on
Crom's
the
name and
inks. What did you mess? I thought you meant something with inks.
no, some feathering.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking about what I was saying, and then effed up the inks, and then I effed PG-13 Zach left the room for a moment, and unfortunately, I got him back.
It is actually, it's very hard to ink and talk at the same time. I have accepted that.
Certain things I can do, but inking Jeff, like I'm crushing kind of anatomy in my head while I'm talking to you. If I'm inking myself, I can.
Right.
It's way easier.
Well, if you're inking yourself, you kind of already done that on that particular piece.
Yeah, you're just singing Freebird again.
Mm-hmm.
You can basically go on autopilot.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah, I've only had one just inking gig, and that was an interesting experience. I was obviously fresher then than I am now because that was a while ago, but I pretty much just ended up not even like finishing, but just like repenciling everything so that I would understand it.
you learn a lot when inking, right?
Yeah, you do. And I keep meaning to find the time to ink someone else's work again just as practice and see what I can learn, like you were talking about this other time.
It's a good exercise because it gets you out of your comfort zone, and all your little like cheats, like what you do, like this is how I draw an ear, this is how I draw a car, this is how I draw a tire texture.
Mm-hmm.
All those things are gone now, and somebody else is thinking for you,
right?
As far as that's concerned, and you got to kind of, you're now, the I don't know, a jazz guitarist that has to come back and help reinforce the music.
Mm-hmm.
So without taking away from it.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy inking, both myself and Jeff Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked what you said about inking being like surfing. That's actually one of the better metaphors I've heard. Because I've always liked, it has that quality where you just sort of sink into it and it's just this very zen sort of balancing process.
Yeah, it's almost like the world quiets for a bit, at least for me, and I just let it go.
Yeah. Well, again, one of those things that's good to hear. It's like, okay, I'm not the only one who feels that way about it.
Yeah, and to your point, there's been plenty of pros that I've worked with when they say shit to me that sounds terrible in their lives, but I'm like, whew, okay, they have that too.
Mm-hmm.
You have like almost no sympathy for them. You're like, oh God, you're going through the same crap I am.
Right, right.
I'm not an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least not a foolish idiot.
We're all idiots in comics. That's a given.
Yes. We should have gone into animation, right?
I don't think I have a comment on that.
Well, I said it flippantly, if it means anything.
Well, good. I know at school, animation and comics were the two departments that had the most crossover. If someone left the sequential art department, it was to switch to animation or vice versa, which is understandable, but it's still like a sort of a weird tension in my mind still exists between sort of like these school tensions.
Oh, interesting. Still got those that the college cliques haunting you. Well, you went to a famous college. I fucking went to a football college, you know. So the art department, I ended up finding a master artist there, but for the most part, it was just graphic arts, you know.
Right.
I didn't go to some fancy school.
Say it like that.
Fancy.
I wanted the best shot.
I'm so jealous.
Well, that's what I wanted.
Well, you I'm definitely jealous. I never got to do anything like that. I was busy failing out of the Marines, failing out of college the first time, all that fun stuff. So I took the long road back.
You know what? Thinking about it now, I don't know if you would have liked it.
Yeah, too much structure.
It was very performative. Now, I like that, but I don't see you having done well there. I mean, like, you know, I play academics like the little cute violin. So that was kind of
like a fiddle.
Yep.
Not a violin. You're on there tapping your foot with a guy with a jug behind you making noises. So that's how much you're into it. Big ol' just fiddling away.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, go on.
No, I was just now that you were saying that, I'm realizing I had not thought of that before, but now I don't know if you would have liked it.
Well, I believe you. You know me fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fit into the structure of that school either.
No.
Outside of a field or the weight room, I didn't excel too well in school.
See, but you're one of those like that Akira panel I sent you. You're one of those art jocks, and that's so strange to me. Like, I just feel like that's so rare.
I am. It's a weird spot. I don't know if I'm a jock, but definitely was athletic my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, played sports. I think my dad had me jogging when I was 3 or 3.5 or something.
God.
You know, so welcome to my life. But you know, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I got lost in some Hulk hair.
No, that's fine. Oh, the hair. I love the way you do the hair.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you.
Man, how you do that with that fat tool, it's so baffling to me.
Well, it's mostly laziness. You wouldn't see me doing this on a comic book with this fat tool.
I mean, I don't know, but it's still like, I don't know. The way you handle hair.
I get it, though.
Nice.
I appreciate it.
I like it.
It's, there's people that are way better than me with this tool, but the pocket brush is a good one.
Oh, is that usually what you do for hair?
No.
Okay.
Just the Hulk hair.
Oh, gotcha.
For some reason, the Hulk's hair is getting longer. Maybe this is Hulk's COVID cut. Just hasn't made it to the Hulk barber yet.
There's a specific Hulk barber now. I wouldn't put it past the Marvel Universe.
Hulk's getting all emo and shit here. We're PG-13 Zach, come back.
I would like an emo Hulk though.
Hulk have feelings. Hulk morose.
Reading poetry and crying.
Walt Whitman make Hulk sad.
Oh, let me check the comments here. Let's see. Yeah, Anthony Wheeler Art says inking is my absolute favorite. Yeah, that's the best.
Agree.
Yeah, I always.
So does emo Hulk.
It's always an irritant to me when I was like, oh, I have to pencil today, but I can't ink unless I pencil first. Like, I gotta eat my dinner before I eat my dessert. It's fine.
I agree. I like storytelling, and and penciling seems like the second act of storytelling. It's just like, ugh, just
Yeah.
there's no.
And it's where it's all the work and all the rules and all the technique. And thumbnailing and breakdowns are like, that is the storytelling. Everything after that is kind of just drawing.
But it's fun. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
Get to Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Bob Ross, we didn't see Bob Ross kicking a chair prior to the show, MF painting, and he's throwing squirrels across the room. And then the cameras would come on and he'd be all zen.
I suppose that's true. I'm working on loosening up though, at your insistence. It seems to be helping.
Your style?
Just in general, I think just trying to think a little more fluid, a little more painterly, like you're always saying.
Good. Can't hurt.
No.
The worst that happens is it sucks and you stop going down that path.
Yeah. Can't complain. Let's see here.
But you learn something every time, man.
That's true.
The shittiest inkers I've had, the best colorists, the worst colorists, the most famous colorists. I've learned, things like that.
Uh-huh.
I learn every time. And that's the important thing is, when you're in the thick of things, and you're talking to a master of this, it's easy to get lost in the weeds and just get pissed and pretend that what you're doing is so important in the moment that it starts suffocating the rest of your life out. And that's something I have with issues. So I try very hard, especially as of late, to diagnose and mitigate those instances.
Okay.
The mitigation part is still a work in progress, but getting better at diagnosing it and just putting like everything in stasis for a moment,
Yeah. Well, knowing is half the battle a lot of times.
I heard that before.
Yeah.
Heard that one. Yeah. So, how old are you? You weren't even old enough for G.I. Joe, damn it.
I'm aware.
I guess you're allowed to quote it. So.
Sure, yeah.
Us 80 kids are all having flashbacks.
Remember I told you
very.
I might, just because I'm young doesn't mean I'm young on purpose. Cut me some slack.
I will. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I'm young either. Am I old, Clara? One day I woke up, I'm 45, and I feel like I still want to play with G.I. Joes.
Listen, that's not old. We're both technically middle-aged now.
Are we? Yeah. 32 is not middle-aged, is it?
It is to me.
Sorry. Was I supposed to give your age away? I apologize.
Oh, no, I don't care. I'm 31, by the way.
PG-13 Zach is really honest. Apologies.
No, it's fine. I think middle age is like 30s to 50s, but maybe I'm the weird one.
Uh-oh. Well, then what's after 50?
Then you're slightly older than middle age.
Uh-oh. I'm going to be bagging on my wife tonight, huh? Oh, wait, no, she is 50. So.
Well, we're just telling everyone's age now.
Oh, my wife doesn't care.
Well, I don't care either. Although I will say I had a number of followers who were shocked to learn I was that old. It was an interesting week.
Uh-oh. What, are they pederasts or something?
I'm just apparently very disappointing, and they all thought I was younger. Whatever.
No. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Mm.
I was shocked that you were 32. But that's because I only I read your bio or whatever, and you had valedictorian of SCAD, who I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I can get an autograph one day. But
you can have all the autographs you want.
All right. So
well, but
I don't even know what the hell we're talking.
I was older when I went back to school in my 20s. So I was a little bit older. So that's why my graduation date may be misleading.
Well, we're kin then, because I went back to school late too. I didn't graduate till 24.
Imagine that.
25 or whatever.
Once again, our trajectories.
For geesh. Quit following me, Clara.
I know, right?
Weirdo. Get your own miserable life.
I have one. I have one right here.
Oh, okay.
Now I just
so you survive.
no, go ahead.
Go.
I was just
No, you go ahead. I'm just rambling.
I was just gonna keep harping on the same thing. Like, I have one. Now I just want the validation of someone else is doing the same thing and doing well.
Well, if you find one, give me a call and we'll both look at them, okay? Or her.
We'll just be fan buddies.
So, that's it. Fan pals.
Oh gosh.
You know what I really enjoy?
What?
Drawing Hulk's little, like, fat ear. Like his ear had too many steroids and then he went wrestling for too many years. So he has a little bit of cauliflower.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, his little cauliflower ear. Yeah. You specifically enjoy that, huh?
Yes.
Nope. Okay.
It's my favorite thing ever.
To each their own.
I also like the line under his nose. Brings me joy.
That particular area of the face, I've noticed, is that's where you get very specific, I think. You handle
me, like my style, like it's not loose anymore?
Yeah, no, it's still loose. It's just very expressive in a way that I don't usually see. You've got it simplified very, very much. And that's very, like, I tried to do, look here at her little mouth. I tried to do one of your mouths on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tried.
Digging it.
I'm getting
good
them.
Expression. Hey, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Noses used to be a mystery to me, and I just knew I stunk at them. So I just studied the living hell out of them, and I'm not a very good natural artist, so I had to I make rules for myself. If this, then that.
Right.
If that, then this. And I just go through the progressions. And that's how I learned to draw everything. So every time you see me doing a nose, you'll see I'm doing there's literally mantras going through my head at the same time.
Okay.
So noses are so difficult. I had to really, break down the cartilage of the front of it and what shapes can I build with that will give me a similar structure each time. So it looks cohesive, but I can then personalize it.
Right.
If that makes sense.
For the character. And,
correct. Or the moment, if you're too limited in your style, you're not going to be able to, as before, we were talking a lot, you got to learn how to draw something correct before you can really fudge it and I guess the better way to put it is before you can really truly be expressive. You got to know something before you can, express it creatively. You can't just play jazz guitar if you just learn scales that day. It's going to take a very long time to learn that. And how to coordinate with other people, etc. That may be rambling because I'm inking. I apologize if I go off.
No, that's good. I was just thinking about how you can tell looking at your work. But the
nose.
Yeah, the nose. the noses are good when you do them, and you can tell you're putting in the work.
Thank you. Yes. I created a system for myself, but the thing is, with artists and illustrators, everybody's kind of creating a system in one way or another. But the key is to hide the seams so it doesn't look like it's built on a factory floor.
Right.
And that's where I would say style comes in.
Right. Yeah. Style comes last. Yeah.
In every aspect.
Okay. Let's see here.
I'm still on camera.
You got a lot done. Look at that.
Somebody says, I just saw the most recent comment.
Let's see. What am I doing here? When you are wait, hold on. When you are live streaming and it stops naturally, you don't lose the video, do you? Because it used to do that.
I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, you've posted all the ones you've done. Well, I'm probably gonna, just to
Yeah.
be safe, knowing Instagram, they're gonna probably find a way to turn it around on us. So I'm probably gonna end this in a minute or two,
Okay.
just so we don't lose it and we can repost it. And I can repost, right?
Of course.
Okay. Awesome.
Um, well, thanks for having me on with your legion of fans, Clara.
Well, yeah, to that point, everybody go and follow Zach because you're not gonna find cooler work. Can't stress that enough.
Well, thank you. If you try hard, I'm sure you can find cooler work. Claire's drunk right now, but she means well.
Secretly, yeah. All right. Oh, I did want to say real quick. I'm trying your panel method. Trying that out with these bigger panels.
What? Oh, the thick panel borders.
Yeah, trying to lean into that. See
I
how
think
that works.
I developed it for Wild Blue, I remember, and then just kept it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm giving it a shot and see how I like it. See how it works with the flow.
PG Zach. They can't find PG Zach. I got to create an account, PG Zach now. No, it's PG 13 Zach. I forgot.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I got a little edge, but not a lot. You can still bring your grandma.
Yeah, because both of those definitely already exist. All right.
Clara, I had a blast. To all of Clara's fans, thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this was a ton of fun. Thank you so much for just taking the time and talking to my people and your people seeing my people and all that stuff. So that was a good time.
Honored and a pleasure.
Well, you have a good night. Say hi to all those dogs.
I will. Take care.
All right.
R-rated Zach is on the track. It looks like
Back
on the comments. You take care. Thank you.
Good night.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.